I was talking to my buddy the other day, Tom Breeze, which, by the way, if you don't know Tom, you need to. World Authority in YouTube. He owns an agency called Viewability. It's viewability.co.uk. I'll include a link in the description. Brilliant guy. He was helping me with some of my YouTube stuff. And he and I just got to rapping. And he told me these two stories that were really interesting. The first one was about superglue. He said that the folks that developed superglue were so excited about how cheap it was to produce. Like it was nothing. It cost $0 basically. And so it was like a penny to produce this bottle of super glue, and they were going to sell it for 4 cents, and they were going to have amazing margins and mint money and whatever. And they went to market, nobody bought it, and they couldn't figure out like how on earth is this not beating out like the Elmer's glue of the world. And a marketing guru, I guess, came to him and said, "Oh, you're not charging enough." And they're like, "Dude, we're 4x right now. It costs a penny to produce. We're selling it for 4 cents. Like, this is it." And the guy's like, "No, sell it for like $1.50 or whatever." This was back when pennies actually made sense. I don't know. It's Tom's story. So they, instead of selling it for 4 cents, they sold it for like $1.50 a bottle or $5 a bottle or whatever it was. Something insane, something asinine, and it starts flying off the shelf. And it's just such a phenomenal. Now, I don't know how true this is. I didn't fact check Tom Breeze, and nor would I, by the way, because when you meet Tom, you trust everything that he says. It's just dangerous. But regardless, I think the anecdote, it stands. Like, I've had that experience myself and with my clients, where if you price something incorrectly, even if it's too cheap, if it's too low, people it's like they don't believe it. It's like, oh, I don't believe that's going to work. Like that glue can't be super. It's only 4 cents. So one of the things that I'd recommend, and it's not just about pricing, it's also about positioning. Look at the way you're pricing and positioning your product, your service, your software, whatever it is you're selling. Sometimes being more expensive is actually to your benefit. There's a psychological anchor that you're planting in your prospect's mind, and that's your price. It's not the only thing that anchors your product or your service, but it's one of the important things. So, trying to compete on price, I think is a flawed model for so many reasons. But even beyond that, make sure that the way you're positioning your product or your service it's priced in a way that people believe you're going to be able to deliver the thing that it is that you're promising. And sometimes that means charging more. The other thing that I've noticed, I do this in my consulting. I don't want to consult. I'm just not about it. It's not my thing. And so I had a friend and a mentor say, well, charge the amount of money that you need to repel everybody who would normally hire you. And that if somebody hires you, you'd actually be really excited about it. So if you go to my website right now, my consulting fees are outrageous. But what's interesting about it is when people pay my consulting fee, they actually pay attention. And I get these little "can I pick your brain" emails all the time, and I just ignore them because I've noticed whenever I say yes to that, they never take action. Like, they never actually do the thing that we talk about doing, no matter how good the advice is. And so if they pay my insane, exorbitant fee, folks, they actually end up doing. This isn't like a weird seated consulting pitch, by the way. Don't hire me for consulting. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I thought the superglue story was really funny and interesting. Second story Tom Breeze told me was about Betty Crocker. Again, I haven't fact checked this. And by the way, if y'all have like links or something to these and you know where this comes from, I'd really love to hear it. I don't know where Tom got it, but the Betty Crocker story goes, Betty Crocker found a way to create a cake mix that you didn't need to do anything for. Like, here's the Betty Crocker cake mix, and you buy the cake mix, and then I don't know what you do with Betty Crocker. I don't cook at all. I can make cereal and sandwiches, and they're not good. But I guess like it was done. And there was nothing for the chef to do outside of just like use the cake mix to make the cake. Well, it didn't sell. And so what they did, they brought in whatever marketing expert they brought in, and the marketing expert changed the pitch and said, just add an egg. So like you buy the cake mix and all you need to do is add an egg. And what's funny about it is the cake mix didn't actually need an egg, but they gave the buyer something to do. So they felt like they were a participant. They didn't feel like they were being completely replaced. And for those of you in the software space, I want you to really think about this because it's important. Not just software. It's applicable to a lot of things like cake mix. But if you're replacing an entire workforce, if that workforce is also your avatar, you might need to massage the way that you're presenting your offer. And it behooves you to let them know what they can do beyond the fact. And if that means manufacturing work for them, that's whatever. Just add an egg, even when it didn't need an egg. If that, eases their fear and their pain, and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to, I have no value now. Show them where the potential value is going to be. And hopefully it's not a lie like the egg is. In one example I'm going to offer you is with Google Ads. My business used to be about pressing buttons inside of the Google Ads dashboard. It's not about that anymore. As a matter of fact, with Performance Max, which is amazing, it might end up being way more about creative, which is funny because I have no intention of getting into creative. I've been on the phone with a couple of various potential prospects, and I'm going to find referral partners in the creative space. But if I were telling a Google Ads manager, if I was selling a Google Ads manager Google Ads, I wouldn't be telling them, oh, hey, it replaces everything about everything that you do, because that Google Ads manager is just going to ignore it. I remember there was an episode of The Office where Pam Beasley keeps dodging this salesman who has this really cool thing that's like, I forget what it was. It was like a front desk kiosk, but it does like 90% of everything that she does. And so she's make sure that person never finds his way to Michael Scott. Well, what that salesperson should have been doing, instead of trying to sell Michael Scott, he should have been selling Pam Beasley. Hey, here are the things that you can do now. It opens up your time for more copies and scans and, making eyes at Jim. So figure out who it is that you're selling to and how your product, regardless of the efficiency that it brings about, how it might actually hurt that person, and ways that you can turn that around on its head. So cool stories, Super Glue and Betty Crocker. Again, these are, third party now because they came from Tom Breeze, but you can't doubt Tom Breeze. When you meet him, you know what I mean. That's all I got. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, before you go, I'm constantly looking for amazing people to come join our team. So if you're passionate about Google Ads and you're passionate about customer success, please go to soul8.com/apply, and we'd love to see you as a part of the Solutions 8 team. Also, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that we actually know what we're doing. And don't forget to subscribe. We shoot a video every single day, and I don't want you to miss out on any of it. Lastly, if you have questions, comments, concerns, confessions, or you just hate my face and my voice, go ahead and hit us up in the comments. We get very little human interaction, and even the heckling is something that I kind of get a kick out of. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being subscribers if you're a subscriber. Don't forget to apply if you're interested in working at Solutions 8. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.